Have you ever imagined if planet Earth was completely covered by an ocean, so deep that it reached all the way to space? And if instead of continents, mountains and cities, all that existed was water? Water in abundance, endless, rising kilometers and kilometers, swallowing everything, until it reached the edge of the atmosphere. It sounds like something out of science fiction, right? But what if we told you that this could reveal the darkest, most bizarre and even dangerous side of our planet? Today, you'll embark with us on a journey through what would happen if the ocean were reversed, and Earth became a giant ocean planet. Prepare to hold your breath, literally. Let's start by imagining an extreme scenario. You wake up, open the window, and you no longer see buildings, streets, or mountains. The only thing that exists is a gigantic ocean, a sea so deep that it swallows the entire surface of the Earth, covering everything from Everest to the clouds. This is the concept of an inverted ocean. A planet like Earth, but where water occupies all the space where air would normally be. Instead of atmosphere, we have water, layers and layers of it, reaching all the way to the stratosphere. But wait, is that possible? Earth is already an extremely aquatic planet. About 71% of the planet's surface is covered by water, and we have 1.386 billion km3 of water in the oceans. But to fill space, to cover the entire atmosphere with water, it would take more than 5 billion km3, almost 4 times the current total volume of the entire Earth. In other words, it is impossible in practice. But since this is an exercise of imagination, let's continue. If the ocean rose to the limit of the atmosphere, it would have to surpass the troposphere, the stratosphere, and it would reach 100 kilometers in height, where outer space begins, the so-called Kármán line. This means that the inverted ocean would be 100,000 meters deep. To give you an idea, the Mariana Trench, the deepest point in the real ocean, is only 11,000 meters. Now imagine multiplying that by almost 10. Well, basically there would be no human life on the surface. The pressure in the lower layers of a 100 kilometers ocean would be absurd, thousands of times greater than what we find today at the bottom of the sea. Just to compare, at 11-kilometer depth, we already have more than 1 ton per square centimeter. At 100 kilometers, that would be enough to crush anything organic instantly. Humans, submarines, land animals. Nothing would survive, but maybe life would find a way. Today, even at absurd depths, bizarre life forms exist. We have extremophils, microorganisms that live in places where no other living being survives. In hydrothermal vents at over 300 OC, in environments with high acidity, or under pressures so high that the human body would turn to jelly. If these creatures already live today in abyssal parts of the Earth, imagine the alien species that could evolve in an inverted ocean. We could have giant bioluminescent beings, animals with gelatinous bodies capable of withstanding pressure, and even invisible predators adapted to eternal darkness. Scary, right? Another important detail, sunlight does not penetrate deeply into water. In a normal ocean, light only travels up to 200 meters. After that, total darkness. In an ocean 100 kilometers wide, almost all the water would be freezing, with temperatures close to 0 degrees or even below zero. At the top, near the exosphere, water would boil due to direct solar radiation. In the middle, it would freeze. At the bottom, it would boil under pressure. Such a planet would be a real thermal nightmare. If the entire surface were water, the Earth's core would still be down there, but the Earth's crust would be covered by thousands of kilometers of water. In this scenario, all tectonic, volcanic and seismic activity would occur underwater. Can you imagine an underwater volcano erupting 80 kilometers deep? These would be colossal explosions, capable of forming new mountain ranges underwater, which would never emerge. If the Earth had been born like this, covered by this infinite ocean, would some kind of intelligent civilization have emerged? Without solid ground, without fire, without accessible metals? Probably not. Most technologies we know rely on heat, combustion, and physical structures that require dry soil. But what if some aquatic civilization had evolved? With water-adapted intelligence, night vision, perhaps even telepathy through sound waves, could we be being watched right now? The answer may surprise you. Yes. Astronomers have already identified ocean planets outside the solar system known as water exoplanets. One of them is GJ 1214b, a world about 2.7 times the radius of Earth and potentially covered by a deep, dense ocean without any landmass. Others, such as Kepler 22b and Kepler 62e, are also candidates for having global oceans. And then comes the question, do they hide life forms that we could never imagine? Now let's reverse it again. What if, instead of too much water, it disappeared completely? Without oceans, the seas would evaporate, temperatures would rise, the climate would collapse, and we would disappear within a few decades. In other words, even though the inverted ocean is an exaggeration, water is balance. Without it, there is no life. With too much, neither. We live on a planet covered by oceans, but we know more about the moon than we do about the bottom of the sea. Only 5% of the Earth's oceans have been explored to date, and no one knows what really lies in the deepest trenches. Now imagine multiplying that by 100 times. What could exist at 90,000 meters underground, in total darkness and complete pressure? Could science explain it? Or would we have to accept that we are no longer alone? If this video blew your mind like it did ours, then you know what to do. Leave a like now because it helps the channel a lot. Subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss the next insane videos like this one. And comment below. Do you think there is life in deep oceans that we don't even know about yet? Or are they already watching us, waiting for us to discover it? See you in the next video, and until then, be careful what's down there.